Here's how you'll know whether or not your ex is still in love with you. So after somebody breaks up with you, the first thing to do is to go no contact. And maybe you know that already, and maybe you've been putting that into place, but it's really, really hard to execute on because you have to sit with your feelings and you're not getting companionship or feedback or stimulation from the other person that was your person, the person you used to sleep next to or the person you used to talk to, every single night. And so this experience of loneliness starts to set in on you and you start to feel like, maybe they've moved on altogether. And you don't understand how they could have done that because you still feel connected to them. But if you've truly been doing no contact, right, that is, you're not liking their posts, you're not watching their stories, you're not talking to their friends and family, you're not wishing them a happy birthday, you're not trying to bring them their stuff back, all this stuff, and so you're not doing any of that, and you're living your best life by getting in the gym, hanging out with your friends, doing your hobbies, and posting about all this stuff on social media. Over time, this combination of not hearing from you and them seeing you live your best life starts to have an effect on your ex, and they'll start coming back around and messaging you again. Just because they're messaging you again and just sort of like dipping their toes in the water and feeling things out, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're head over heels in love with you. But if when you talk, you notice that they start to have an adverse reaction about you living your best life. Who were you hanging out with last night? Or they're starting to dig around and try to find out if you're dating other people, or they try to guilt you for going out and being open to dating other people, even though they broke it off with you. That jealousy right there is a clear sign that they still have feelings. Now, maybe they pushed you away simply because they're an avoidant and the intimacy was getting too great and they didn't know how to deal with it. Or maybe they didn't want to deal with the responsibility of caretaking for another person's feelings in that relationship. But in a case like this, in that distance that you guys have had, in that space away from each other, their attraction levels have creeped back up. And obviously this is having an effect on them and they're starting to think about old times, and they haven't entirely lost feelings because you can tell as they start asking you about, what it is that you're up to. If they were truly moved on, they would be indifferent to you. They wouldn't be reaching out, and they wouldn't care about what it is that you're up to simply because they have something else going on for themselves. Now, if you want to ask me a question about your ex or your situation, what you can do is click on my profile right here. There's a link in there, and you can either book a call with me or ask me a question about your specific situation with your ex.